We're going to be doing Hard Eyes. This is the new Valentine's Day horror movie that's come out, directed by Josh Rubens, who previously directed movies like Werewolves Within and Scare Me. Now, I will say this: Werewolves Within and Scare Me are both fantastic movies. Check them out. More on the indie side. I think this is a little studio backed, a bit more. Might have been independently made, but studio backed, maybe for distribution or whatever. And a little bit of the budget, because this one, I love those other two movies, and they look great. They have great horror comedy. This one might be his best film yet, showing his growth. This right, I will tell you, as much as I like other holiday themed horror movies, especially the Valentine's Day one, this is my favorite Valentine's Day horror movie.
Ooh.
The right amount of horror, the right amount of comedy. I really like Josh Rubin's style. I think with his comedy adds such a great element to his horror. The goriness was even more amplified from his other movies, and it just held up perfectly. The kills were cool. It has throwback slasher vibes, but with like new modern day twists. Like you have this couple in the forefront, played by Olivia Holt, and I forgot the gentleman's name who plays Jay in it. He's the main character. He was great. I want to see him in more stuff. He played the older brother in the Scream movies.
Okay, yeah.
Not the older. He was a twin. Sorry.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He was in that, and like in this, he was such a commanding lead. He was funny. That squad car back and forth was hilarious.
Yes.
They were great together. Their chemistry was, I almost want them to do more of these. Like if they keep this on, do it like Sydney and Gail and all them from Scream. Keep them in it. Every movie is them trying to stop or evade the Hard Eyes killer in some city. And like if you're going to keep it going, like Happy Death Day, you make sure that lines up. You don't go to somebody new. These two were fantastic together.
I agree with that. Like if they do make this a franchise or keep it going, because you wanted some continuity with it. I say definitely keep these two in it, because it kind of it gives the whole, like you said with the Scream thing, but it also gives the effect of like why we keep coming back, or why the Hard Eyes killer keeps coming back, because it's been defeated and we want to defeat this, whatever the case may be. Throw that together however you guys want to, but yeah. I agree. Keep these two together with the chemistry and everything. And they have the names. I'm not, no disrespect, but they don't have those big names where it's like it's going to be super expensive by movie 2, maybe movie 3 or movie 4, maybe, but you know what I mean? Movie
I
2,
can see their stars on the rise, especially if this does really well.
And Scream 7 for him, but right?
No, because I don't think he's in the next one. I think it's just pivoting over to Sydney.
Then shit, this would be the perfect freaking pivot for him. This would be the perfect thing if they did that. It would be perfect. You got two young, I'll say attractive potential stars that have great chemistry on screen, and it's a horror comedy, so you can and you guys did the horror very well in this movie. So if you keep the horror well, keep the horror fun, keep the kills cool, keep the kills fun, but keep the comedy in it, you could do a lot with this.
Yeah, I mean, now there is a cast of quirky characters in this, and one of the movies I would equate this to is Thanksgiving by Eli Roth.
Okay.
Which is another one I rated high and I had a lot of fun with. And in my opinion, slasher films have been on a decline for many years. They're either just very callback to
the 80s,
what they were in the 80s or the 90s, or even going back to the 70s a bit, but or they are a direct nostalgia hit, and it just doesn't work anymore. I think people want slashers to reflect them, and that's why I think like Scream 5 worked, and then Scream 6, and then Scream 7's kind of coming back, is they revitalized who that slasher was in that genre. This movie and Thanksgiving, and there's like I think Founders Day was one, like another one, like they're movies that are doing it right. They're adding a right amount of comedy to it. There's a good one that came out on Netflix too. It was about, I think they were in a high school. I think they were in a school too. I can't remember the name of it, but it came out a few years ago. These are really taking slashers in a new direction that I'm really appreciating, and I kind of hope it keeps going where it's a little more. Stream was another one too.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun. I had a really good time with Stream.
But like, whereas like Terrifier to me is like a callback to the 80s and like, but trying to go way more over the top and violent with it. Stream is a little, it's more in the now, I guess. And
okay.
the amount of like Stream has its issues, and you can go read my review on that or check out my old video on that. But I really liked it, and it's such a cool concept. I think it fits this mold because it does have comedy in it, elements, stuff like that, and I think it fits this mold I'm talking about. But Thanksgiving and now this, I think think did it best. The cast is campy. We have two cops that are named Hobbs and Shaw, which is because Jordana Brewster's in it. She plays one of them. Like, it's an interesting, like, tongue-in-cheek joke that they threw in there that I know they threw in there as comedians to make fun of probably The Rock or just that, like, kind of dissent, that happened between the Fast and Furious, and she was in it because they were like, she's like Hobbs and Shaw, like the movie, and they just look at each other, and it's her and Devin Sawa, and they're like, never heard of it. That had to be tongue in cheek. Devin Sawa was a little over the top, but I always like seeing him in a movie. Comfort, because like I always used to get called Devin Sawa as a kid.
See?
And now I'm nowhere near as good looking as Devin Sawa. He went to better looking, and my face expanded is what happened.
Rubbing out more. That's all. You're not no highlight.
No, but I did. I really enjoyed Hard Eyes. The design of the killer, the mask, and everything, very cool, practical,
and how it lights up. I loved that. Yep. I freaking love that, and it was in red, my favorite color. So I'm like, this is a win-win. I want that mask.
Oh, that's a cool mask. This movie needs to stick around. I want to see more of the Hard Eyes killer.
I do too. And this is the type of thing where I feel you got to make. You can. I'm not saying you have to, but you should make franchises out. I'll say you should. And you can make franchises out of. Not every type of horror film can be a franchise. A lot can, but I feel like it maybe a slasher is a cheat code. But where do you have like an interesting type of theme with it, like a holiday horror theme? And it works because this could be make it an anthology thing. It works, of course, not the same Hard Eyes person or whatever, but again, similar to Scream, where it's in different locations, whatever the case may be, and it's the same two main people, and you just got a bunch of other people that they meet throughout the film. They hear about the story. Eventually, maybe if not part 2, definitely part 3. They hear about the Hard Eyes story. They hear about these two characters, and you kind of go from there with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make multiple sequels of Smile, which again, I love Smile too, and I did like the first one.
I gotta see that still. Smile 2.
But if you can keep making sequels to that, you can make sequels to Hard Eyes and make it fun and keep these characters around for a while. I don't think it should be new couples. These two are a good face for this type of franchise.
I agree. And it doesn't have to be a long franchise. It doesn't have to be 7-8 movies. You could do it in like 4 to 5.
Yeah. Just
or make it a trilogy.
Like, because you've already established in this movie that there's copycats.
Yep.
And so like it's an interesting idea, and not to give anything.
I'll say this.
I don't want to give anything.
I won't give anything away, but you can even make if you wanted to, you can make the last movie to one of them is the killer or is behind the whole thing. If you wanted to, you don't have to. Maybe you shouldn't.
You need,
or maybe make them both the Hard Eyes killer at the end.
You're getting into serious Scream 3 territory.
Yeah, that's true. And I hate the Scream franchise as a whole.
But it is a good template for something like this where you can
definitely.
Build up. But I keep the comedy, of course, because it took the horror seriously as well. Loved it. Josh Rubin, great job on this. Check out more of his stuff if you haven't checked out. Scare Me just takes place. It's 2 characters in the movie just telling scary stories to each other, but with the sound and the lighting effects and all the practical effects that go into it, it is amazing. I thought they did such a great job. I think you'll really like it. You'll all really like it. Werewolves Within, another great horror comedy you'll appreciate. But yeah, go check out Hard Eyes if you can. I gave it a 3 out of 3.5, and you gave it a 7.5, right?
7.5. Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah, because you do
actually, I'm gonna bump that up to an 8 for this.
I like it. So Sturdy, for anybody maybe watching this as a clip, does it from 10 to -10. We already got a negative movie tonight, but you gotta go back and watch the whole the whole show or listen to the podcast for that. But yeah, 8's a good solid one. I don't know if I would go to 4 with Hard Eyes. 3, I feel safe with 3.5 on my to my 5 scale.
Yeah.
But very good movie. If you're looking for a cool horror movie to go check out and it's in theaters, go check it out and support. And then I did though. Yeah, I really liked Hard Eyes.
Same.
But yeah, that's our reviews, and I will talk to you later.